Hey buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today, after I checked out the last GinjaNinja video, love her name, you guys told me to check out the My Dad's Storytime. I'm really looking forward to this video, although you guys told me it is emotional, so I have no tissues with me. I got a shirt, I'll just use my shirt. I got a little scarf, I might use that scarf. You guys said it was emotional and that I will be crying, so I'm looking forward to seeing what her story is, but I'm a little nervous because of the tears that might come. A link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started.
As you may have guessed from my last story time, my dad is amongst my favorite people. Very high up. All the way at the tippy top.
Okay.
So, let's talk about that. As I said, he's retired military. He loves the Dallas Cowboys and cute little babies that he can dote on, and his favorite pastimes are playing the Dead by Daylight game I got him for his birthday, and antagonizing
Oh, that's awesome. He's a gamer.
And I'm
That's hilarious.
Because he
Oh.
was military, I spent the first few years of my life on a military base in Japan. All the time,
Okay.
he would take me on what he called daddy
That's really
dates,
cool.
where we would go watch a movie together and then grab fast food for dinner afterwards. My favorite song was the national anthem because they would play it before every film. This is absolutely
really?
where I acquired my taste for movies. This 3-year-old was off watching X.
She's so
I
cute.
moved back to the U.S. when I was 5, so my baby brother would be born in the States. And let me just say that baby Greg was the cutest damn thing. Little chubby cheeky blonde dork with a bowl cut. It was adorable. Almost enough to make up for the fact that I wanted a little sister and got cheated. Mom, while we were in the States, my dad...
You're blaming him. It's your daddy's fault, actually. It's the Y chromosome.
At a time, he'd be halfway across the world and missing out on us growing up. I can't imagine how hard that was on him. Before he left, we'd make each other Build-A-Bears with our voices on them to listen to when we missed each other, and he recorded videos of him reading books for us to listen to before we went to bed. And every time he came home, he'd get the biggest smile on his face when we came barreling towards him. Because I was so young, I didn't really know what being deployed meant for him, but he was an engineer, not any sort of fighter. He supervised construction projects like rebuilding schools that had been destroyed for kids who lived there, and he'd have my mom send over shoes from the States to hand out to those same kids who didn't
That's
have it.
good.
But that didn't mean
That's really good.
My dad received an Impact Award for rushing to save civilians from a suicide bomber, and the person who nominated him directly credited him for saving numerous people's lives and limbs. When I was 5, I thought he just disappeared for a few months into a void and came back with mysterious permanent back problems that forced him to retire
Magic.
for a good reason. Now I know he was a hero to more people than just me.
I know
When
that
he
makes you feel
retired,
really
he chose
great.
to stay in the military with a desk job to continue engineering.
Okay.
No more deployment, but
Okay.
we did get moved around still. We went from North Carolina to Japan to 2 places in California to Louisiana to Texas. And we still bonded over our movie dates everywhere we went.
That's good. That's
He's
good. That's
responsible
good.
for my love of Iron Man, and Terminator became my heart and soul, and
I love Iron
the first
Man.
2 Alien movies and the one and only Predator movie that has ever existed, and there are no sequels, were really important to me.
What'd you say? Wait, I wrote this. Oh, where'd my mouse go? Okay.
Where we went.
Wait, what did it say? Hold on, it
He's
said.
responsible for my love of Iron Man.
Put on real
and
clothes, we're going to a
Terminator
movie.
became my heart and soul, and the first 2 Alien movies and the one and only Predator movie
Oh, the
that
original
has ever
quadrilogy.
existed, and there are no sequels.
Okay, I wrote this before I saw The Predator, and I actually really liked it, so the statement isn't totally accurate, but I still stand by the sentiment that Predator 2 and Predators effed my wife and wrecked my lawns.
Were really
That is
important
hilarious.
to me, and we absolutely raged over how disappointing Prometheus had been. No,
Oh, Prometheus was absolutely garbage.
Totally forgiven. And you know what?
No. Prometheus will never be forgiven, okay? The stupidity of the main scientist and all that ish that happened. Prometheus, I will never forgive you. I thought it was going to be it's a gorgeous looking film, but like story-wise, the guy who wrote it, he don't like making sense. That's how I feel. That man don't like making sense, okay? Make some sense, sir.
Ever existed, and there are no sequels, were really important to me. And we absolutely
He said, "You're
raged
welcome."
over how disappointing Prometheus had been.
Yes, it was super
I
bad.
love Covenant so much. Prometheus has been totally forgiven. And you know what? Alien vs. Predator was my absolute favorite movie at the time. I thought it was such an amazing and innovative.
Is that the one? Hold on. Is that the one that they? Because were there multiple Alien vs. Predators? I remember there was one where they were in like some town, and I think high school. There was a high school that was involved. If that's the case, I wasn't a fan of that movie. But I did like Predators, maybe. It's the one where Adrian Brody is in it. I forgot. Muhammad Ali. No, not Muhammad Ali. I totally botched that. Please do not come for my card. Please do not come for my black card. I promise I will get his name right. But his name is actually a way longer than... Okay. Mahershala Ali. That's who it is. Mahershala Ali. Oh, he's... Mahershala, you know, if you like to play video games, hit your girl up, because I would love to play video games with you, bro. I would like, honestly, to just record lines and have Mahershala Ali voice these lines, and I can just play them as my... Maybe he could say things... Oh my goodness, I would die to have him do my intro or my outro, but in his voice, in his style. He ain't gotta say, like, all the high... You know, my voice can go high. I would die for that. I want that. Everybody hit up Mahershala Ali. Let him know. I'll wait. All right. Delicious. Okay. But yes, I liked that movie. That movie was good. Prometheus. I forgot how much I was upset about that. I was so upset about that movie.
It's over. And rewatching it now, it's absolute garbage. But I still love it because positive association is a powerful beast.
Okay.
And you know what else again? I absolutely got jealous when he started taking
movie.
Greg to movies without me. He took Greg to
really?
Thor 2, and I was petty. And as a result,
I loved
never
Thor
saw it
2.
for myself. To this day,
Aww.
it is the only MCU movie I have not seen.
Really? I love the second Thor. And the third Thor. First Thor is
Greg
garbage.
was just like my mom, and I was just like my dad. My dad and I both preferred to take time to ourselves to deal with our feelings, and we're quick-witted and dedicated to work. But he's a lot smarter.
You need processing time. I got you.
Sitting in the car and asking about how something works and letting him explain all the ins and outs of government or mechanics or science or whatever I could get him to explain to me.
I like the
really
speech bubble she had there.
Once while taking me to camp, the roads were slick and our back tires flew out to the side. He didn't even bat an eye. He just corrected the steering wheel and eased us back into the lane, no problem. And I remember saying,
"That's good.
Wow, you did that so easily." And still totally straight-faced, he said, "I almost just shit myself." And went on to explain how important it was to stay level-headed while driving.
I can understand that.
Learning to drive was an interesting experience because of this. The moment I got my permit, my dad tossed
This is a
me
permit.
the keys and said, "You drive home." And I said,
"Oh."
What? Literally my first time ever driving. And for some reason, he trusted me.
Really? Okay.
More than I could say for my mom. I learned to drive
dear.
at 17,
I'm guessing she
and
was
I moved
very
out as soon
upset.
as school ended after I turned 18. I was a little desperate for independence, so I made some choices I shouldn't have made. Without going into too much dirty laundry, I moved in with someone who was dangerous and tried to earn my trust to tear me down.
Oh, dear.
But I just thought they were my friend who loved me. I didn't see through them.
I'm sorry.
But my dad did. And he tried to deter me with fatherly advice, but he never tried to make a decision for me. And for the time that I lived with and moved around with this person, he did his best to support me in my journey of learning to...
I think that is a good technique. If it's not like life, if it's not life or death, sometimes you just need to smack the person off the whip and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna just take this over. I'm saving you," you know? And that's a life or death type of situation. In this case, it's something that she has to learn to be able to decipher the true intentions of people as best as you can. And to have that mindset of, I'm going to give you advice, but I'm going to let you make the decision, I think is a good technique, because you're supplying your child with the tools to understand. Meanwhile, they're learning through application or enduring the situation. Like I said, if it's dangerous, if your kid's getting beat up or beat down or whatever, yes, step in. Don't be like, "Well, this is a lesson for you." Bruh, you think I'm going to pull my child out and I'm going to fight you. That's what we going to have to do. We could throw hands, but this is a situation where she does need to learn for herself. So I think it's a good technique to have the father be like, "You know what, these are my things, but you can make your decision."
To be an independent adult. Eventually, though, he made it clear he couldn't help this person systematically take advantage of me any longer. And he pulled the support off the table. He was still emotionally there for me, but he couldn't be my crutch any longer, and I needed to see for myself that this person didn't care enough about me to step up and fill his void. As frustrating as it was at the time, I was never mad at him for it. At this point,
That's
I'm
good.
very glad he did that. As much as I wanted to believe in and help this person, I did come to realize how badly I had been played. And I'm able to recognize these situations quickly now so I don't play into someone's hands
In the
again.
future. I got you.
Backtracking a bit, the last apartment I had with this person is when I got him the PS4 and Dead by Daylight for his birthday so that we could still bond when we were so far apart.
Aw.
He didn't like
That
the
would
game
be
at
fun
all
to
at
play.
first, but because he thought that playing it would be
Yeah,
our
it's
only
tough.
way to really connect with me halfway across the country, he played nonstop until he became
He
a
looks so
top-tier player.
angry.
He'd be playing for
That's
hours
really cool.
and then going out and chopping wood to get out his frustration because he died too much. We only got to play together once before, as mentioned previously, I realized the kind of person I was living with and I needed his help. I was working myself to the bone for so long to take care of everything because I thought I was giving this person some sort of relief in their life. But when I confronted them when I found sabotage, they just up and ran out on me. It took me a few days of being alone before I felt like I could call my parents and explain myself. A few days of being afraid to tell them that I fucked up.
Sweetie, if you want to come home, please tell me.
But the lecture
I need to
didn't
hear
happen. He didn't hesitate at all. He just bought a plane ticket to fly up and move me back home.
Oh.
I had to wait a few more days before the quickest flight he was able to get at the moment, but right before his flight, my mom texted me a picture of him standing right outside the airport with the same big smile he had when he'd come back home from deployment. Because he was so excited to bring me back. Nothing could ever compare to that moment of me realizing the true extent of unconditional love.
Yes, yes.
If they had said she didn't want to listen to us so she can deal with her choices and left me to deal with the situation myself, I wouldn't have blamed them one bit. They dropped everything to make sure that I was safe and to help me recover and just be happy again.
That's
I don't
good.
regret
That's really
anything
good.
about that situation. The roommate was a hard lesson to learn, and I hate that they played me for a fool for so long. But it really put into perspective how I was so lucky to have the friends and family that I do, and how much I wanted to make everything up to them. When his flight landed, we packed everything that we could fit into my car, which had no AC and is absolutely tiny.
Oh, dear. Oh,
and
dear.
I had to leave a lot behind, including my entire closet. I almost forgot to pack every single sketchbook I had ever filled and had packed into a box on their own, and the car was too full for another box. So,
Oh, dear.
though I was devastated, I was fully prepared to leave all my personal art history behind. My dad was the one who insisted that it had to come with, and unpacked the box and found a place to stash each and every one of them individually.
Oh, that's
I
good.
didn't know how much he respected my art until that.
I think that's amazing that he did that. Another thing you could do is UPS it. Go to a UPS store and send it back. It sucks that she had to leave all those clothes, but you can have UPS send it to your house and then just pray they'll do it. UPS will do it, and UPS is pretty trustworthy. USPS, it's a mail and pray. Sometimes they'd be good. I mean, they've been good for me with a lot of things. Not everything, but a lot of things.
And yet again, I got really emotional about my family. We drove for 3
Yeah,
nights
see
to get
the
home,
love.
through the desert with no air conditioning.
Oh,
He
dear.
went through hell for me. There were a lot of tears when I got back, mostly from my mom. They set up the guest room to be my new bedroom since my old bedroom was occupied by the new foreign exchange student, a.k.a. my replacement, a.k.a. my shorter sister, a.k.a. Nagomi. They actively encouraged me to stay and continue to work so that I could build my savings back up before moving out again. But they also just wanted to spend time with me.
Of course,
While
of
living
course.
independently again hurt my pride a bit, I wasn't about to hurt everyone else by walking out again immediately.
Yeah, just set yourself up.
I've been home for about half a year now, and honestly, thank God, because about a month ago, he pulled me and Greg aside and told us that he had cancer. I had borrowed his car to go to the gym and absolutely destroyed the door while pulling out of the gas station.
Oh,
My mom
no.
kept saying, "You should go apologize when you calm down." And as much as I love my
I am
dad,
calm,
that
so
scary
calm.
factor gets to me too, so I didn't want to get chewed out on top of beating myself up for the accident. The next day, he pulled me and Greg into his room and closed the door, and I was bracing myself to be absolutely murdered. But he calmly explained that he needed us to figure out how to do things on our own because he had esophageal cancer. It had already spread to his liver, so it was stage 4. They'd waited about a month before telling us. He explained to us that the doctor gave him 2 or 3 years with a chance of making it to 5. But he needed us to step up and support our mom and each other. Being given an expiration date like that really forces you to consider what you want to do with your life. But now I knew I wanted my pilot episode out in the next 2 years so he could at least see my studio start if he couldn't see it through all the way to my bigger projects. Were there any trips that we could take him on? Did he have a bucket list? Was getting married in the next 2 years so he could give me away possible? If he beat the odds and made it to 5 years, could I give him his first grandkid? What could I do to make the last few years the best that they could possibly be and show him that I would be okay without him? Would I be okay without him? Of all the things that I was scared that he would miss out on, the only one I felt like I could control was my work. So I threw myself in head first to work longer and harder so that I could show him what I was going to do with my life, and so I could start helping with covering bills so he'd be able to quit his job.
Right.
2 years to spend time with him when he wasn't too exhausted and keep everyone happy and put my life's dream into immediate action. Making plans to take him to my old apartment and go on family trips and get a bucket list from him that we could put into action. It sucked, but we had time. 2 years wasn't enough, but we had breathing room. And wouldn't you know it, 5 weeks later, he was gone.
What?
The first round of chemo shrunk.
Oh. To feel like you may have a couple of years and then 5 weeks pass. To think you have 2 years at least and then 5 weeks. Gosh. Oh dear.
And wouldn't you know it, 5 weeks later, he was gone. The first round of chemo shrunk his tumors by 30%, but his kidneys have been experiencing unrelated issues, and they went into failure in the process.
Oh no.
He was admitted to the hospital for a fever. We only expected him to be there overnight, but instead he stayed for a week and had to go into intensive surgery to fix it. Mom called us in the morning before his surgery, so Greg missed his first day of school. She wanted to make sure that he got to see us all in case of the worst case scenario. We were all waiting around for a while until Grandma got there. So I stood with him and joked about Mom fretting too much and how I was here for him and I'd hurry people out of the room soon so he could get this over with. The last words I heard from him were rolling his eyes at my mom and Greg and telling the doctor that I was his favorite. And I held on to his wedding ring so that if he got too swollen, it wouldn't hurt his finger. Someone visited every day thinking things were almost over and we'd bring him back soon. But the doctor called us in at 6 a.m. and said to bring everyone who would want to see him. Up until that point, I'd personally taken the role of keeping the mood light and people laughing and happy because my mom had been so devastated, but I really
Which I can understand.
The doctors said they wanted to give us a chance to say goodbye and let him die peacefully now, but Mom stopped crying and became an absolute rock to say that he didn't go through the last week to peace out so easily, that he'd want Highway to Hell to blast at his funeral and we were going to let him have it. He'd said way before cancer ever happened as a joke that he wanted Highway to Hell to blast at his funeral, and she said we were going to let him have it. One last chance to do everything in the doctor's power to bring him home again. A lot of our close friends came to spend time in his room for the day. His coworkers were coming in and out, and he was so sedated that he couldn't move or interact, but we had to assume that to some extent that he could hear us.
Right.
Everyone was telling stories about him, and it was all so apparent how much of a positive impact he'd had in these people's lives. I made a whole setup assuming that I'd be there for a few days overnight, and I'd get some work done, and I'd be right there when they could loosen the sedation, and he could breathe on his own again, and he could hug me. We only got 8 hours before they made us leave the room, and then maybe 2 minutes later it was all over. I didn't get my 2 years. My dad's never going to see my studio officially launch in person, or walk me down the aisle, or spoil his grandkids, and we never got to see the new Predator movie together like we wanted. But when a friend took me home from the hospital, it was suddenly blowing so strong, and I almost felt like I was going to be swept away. I rolled the windows down in the car and let it tangle my hair beyond repair and pressed my glasses into my face so hard I thought they might break, and it felt like him. It was strong, like how strong he had been to put himself through all this pain for us, for everyone he'd ever put himself through pain for. And other than my dad's strength, I thought about my mom's. She lost both her parents young. They didn't get to see a lot of what my dad won't get to see. But she's here, and she's had a happy life, and she loves us. I know she cries because she loves him and she misses him, but I also know she cries because she never wanted me or Greg to go through what she did. And I want her to know that even if I joked about Dad being my favorite, that I love you and I need you just as much. You say you would have taken his place in a heartbeat, but losing you instead of him wouldn't have saved me any heartache.
Exactly.
I chose not to go back into his room to say goodbye to his body. I didn't want to see him that way. When I think of my dad, I think of the man who took me to the movies and made the craziest faces for Mario Kart icon pictures and laughing over it with his laugh that he always just threw himself into with such genuine, joyful abandon because he thinks he's so hilarious. He is. I think of when I was tiny and misbehaved to the point that my mom got mad and threw my favorite Wiggles cassette tape out the window, and my dad went out at night to scour the neighborhood streets before it just because it made me cry.
Oh.
I think about how, despite his intimidating demeanor, so many people like Nagomi got to know him like I did and loved him for being such a dad to everyone. I think about how he always did what he thought was best for everyone, from family members who maybe didn't deserve it to strangers in Afghanistan. I think about him calling me his angel brat baby, or I think about how he introduced himself to my friends with jokes that they thought were threats. I think about the picture of him coming to get me from LA. The day my dad died, my mom kept saying that he was making a heroic effort. And she was absolutely right in more ways than one. He's my hero. Even if the dreams of him seeing where I can take my life are gone, I'll make it through this. And when I get back on my feet, I'll work just as hard. And I'm gonna make him proud.
Yes, I do have a beautiful daughter. Oh, that's the picture of him going to get her. 1966, that's the year my mom was born. This I didn't realize how emotional this was gonna make me. I mean, I joked about not having tissues in here and using my t-shirt because at most I thought, okay, maybe my eyes will just water a little bit and maybe one tear will fall. But this, it hits harder than it hits harder than I'm not, I can't talk about how, but it does hit hard. I'm glad she got to have many, many, many amazing memories with her father before he passed. And I'm glad that she got to have all these happy enjoyment moments, but not just for her. She got to see him how other people see him, as a hero, as a loving person, caring and helpful. So I think that is very beautiful, very amazing. I'm sorry for her loss. My condolences. I hope that for anybody going through this, that her positivity and honesty was able to help. And again, if you lost somebody, my condolences. If you like the video, check out the link in the description box below to support Jinja Ninja. If you like this video, hug the life out of that like button. I love you guys as always. And until next time, toodles.